Yes, everybody, welcome to Social Soccer. What a weekend of football we had. Everything and anything that could have happened did, and wow, what happened at Old Trafford? Manchester United fans, get your comments in below. Tottenham went to Old Trafford and won 3-0. Goals from Johnson, Kulusevski and Solanke. Bruno Fernandes sent off for Manchester United. We're here to talk about it. We're here to dissect it, but once again, an Erik Ten Hag team in a big game. One doesn't show up, one doesn't lay a glove on the opposition as well, and this is happening at Old Trafford. And listen, some pundits have branded it a disgrace, some have branded it disgusting. Let's face it, it was really, really bad, but are we surprised? Like, Man United fans, are we surprised at that happening? Because a lot of people are saying, you know, it's the worst performance ever from an Erik Ten Hag team. I think people have got short memories, to be honest. Does anybody remember Coventry last year in the FA Cup? Does anybody remember Newport last year in the FA Cup? Does anybody remember Burnley when they come to Old Trafford? Now, let me just read you some results here, just to put it in a bit of perspective, because people are calling for Erik Ten Hag's head, and rightfully so, but this guy's got so many lives. I don't know how he's still in a job, truth be told. Let me just read you some results to really kind of break this down and put it into perspective, okay? 7-0 to Liverpool, 3-0 to Liverpool, 6-3 to Man City, 3-0 to Man City, 3-0 to Tottenham, 4-0 to Brentford, 3-0 to Sevilla, 3-0 to Bournemouth, 3-0 to Newcastle, 4-0 to Crystal Palace. And like I mentioned, on top of that, 1-1 at home to Burnley, who were branded one of the worst sides the Premier League has ever seen. 1-1 at Old Trafford at home to Burnley last season. 3-3 in the FA Cup semi-final against Coventry. Scraped through to then go on to the final and win it. Absolutely scraped through. 4-2, like I mentioned, away at Newport. Lacklustre performance. And on top of that, he's fallen out with Maguire. He's fallen out with Ronaldo. He's fallen out with De Gea. And there was something to do with Amad Diallo last season where he wouldn't play him. Like, he's fallen out with Rashford. He's fallen out with Jadon Sancho. This is all on his watch. And he is still Manchester United manager. The performance yesterday was disgusting. I completely agree with it. Midweek 20. It was 1-1 as well. Christian Eriksen, if you haven't seen it, he came out after the game in a post-match interview and said the 20 players wanted it more than we did. 20 wanted it more than Manchester United. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. It's a European game, you're at home, you're 1-0 up to 20, but you've got Christian Eriksen saying that they wanted it more than us. Well, what is going on in that changing room? What is going on? Don't forget as well, last season, Erik Ten Hag mustered up one win in the Champions League last season as Manchester United manager as well. Those numbers, those results, all that I've mentioned there is damning and should not be allowed as manager of Manchester United. The, if not one of, however you want to brand it up, the biggest club in the world, definitely one of, an institution of football, Old Trafford. And look, the new owners have come in, Ineos have come in, they brought in Barada, they brought in Jason Wilcox, they brought in Brailsford, they brought in Dan Ashworth. So look, they've made moves behind the scenes, but this manager now has had £600 million spent on the squad, his players, and it is atrocious. Absolutely atrocious. You might have the right leadership back of house with the likes of Wilcox and Barada that have been brought in, but near the pitch, near the team, the leadership near the team, the manager Erik Ten Hag, the captain Bruno Fernandes being sent off and as petulant as he is, not good enough for Manchester United. Not good enough at all. And you can say, okay, they went down to 10 men and stuff, but the captain got himself sent off. You're 1-0 down and the captain goes and gets himself sent off with a ridiculous tackle. Yeah, I know he slipped. People slip on the pitch all the time. They don't then follow it up with a knee-high studs rake on the player that's going past them. That is not what a captain of Manchester United should be doing. That's your leadership, Bruno Fernandes, along with the manager. No wonder these players aren't inspired. Honestly, I just think it's an absolute joke of a performance, and Manchester United are in big trouble now. How he's in the job, I do not know. The next two games, if you didn't know, Porto away, and Aston Villa away. So he's done, he's finished. You might as well get Ruud van Nistelrooy in now and just get the ball turning, because Ineos backed him in the summer. They backed him in the summer because of the FA Cup win, which, let's face it, he was minutes away from going out to Coventry, in that competition. Then played Man City, had an off day, like whatever happened there, bought him some time. They apparently still interview 3 other candidates for the job, but Erik ten Hag still emerged, and the guy's full of excuses. Injuries, we don't have this, we don't have that, all this kind of stuff. The amount of ex-Ajax players he has brought in and Dutch players he has brought in, this is his team. This is his team. To put that into perspective, this is Erik ten Hag's team. Goalkeeper, Andre Onana. He should be investigated for that signing. Yeah, he used to play for him at Ajax. But at Ajax, they're the best team in the league. He rarely has anything to do. He probably faces 2 or 3 shots a game. Of course, he's going to look good on the ball, Onana, because Ajax have the ball 60-70% of the time in every single game when they're playing the likes of Willem II and Heerenveen. Of course he's going to have the ball, he's not going to be pressed, of course he's going to have time to pick up these passes to look like a good ball-playing goalkeeper. The Dutch league is not the Premier League, so that's his goalkeeper. Dalot played fullback. Fair play to Dalot. I think he has been one of the best performers. Wasn't this player who was already here, but he brought in Martinez. His injury record does not look good to me at all. There's another injury coming. He's also a hothead. He could have got sent off last week at Crystal Palace. If you haven't seen it, he jumps in the air and tries a stamp. Now, Manchester United Crystal Palace finished 0-0. Palace had chances to win that game. If Martinez gets sent off like Bruno Fernandes did at the weekend, United probably going to lose that game. How is this being allowed under the manager? So Martinez is his defender. De Ligt, he wanted De Ligt. De Ligt, surprise, surprise, under him at Ajax. He's brought De Ligt in as well. He's brought in Mazraoui from Bayern Munich. He was at Ajax with Ten Hag also. So another Ten Hag player. Ugarte, Ten Hag player, brought him in. Kobbie Mainoo, well, we didn't bring him in, he gave him his chance. But listen, Kobbie Mainoo probably would have made it regardless of who the manager is. He's such a good talent. But under Ten Hag, is he improving? Is he getting better? Is Kobbie Mainoo actually getting better? Because anyone can come into a Man United team that doesn't have a midfield. It has a midfield of Casemiro, Eriksen and McTominay, and stand out and look good, playing how awful Manchester United did last season. Anybody can come in with some legs and freshen it up and look good, but is he getting better? Is he going to develop? Because I don't see it. I don't see it at all. Bruno Fernandes, he is a big problem. He's given him the armband. Now, he plays as a number 10, but he ends up on the left. He ends up, the gaps that he leaves between Mainoo and Ugarte yesterday and Bruno, the gaps are too big. And then we wonder why Tottenham are dominating the midfield. He doesn't play in sync with a number 6 or a number 8 or 2 number 6s, however Manchester United play it, depending on the opposition. Let's face it, Ten Hag changes his team depending on the opposition. He doesn't go, that's our team, this is my Manchester United team, you change for us. Doesn't do that. But whether it's 2 6s or a 6 and an 8, Bruno Fernandes does not play close enough to them. That creates holes, that exposes the likes of Mainoo. And Casemiro, we've seen it so many times, he's getting absolutely lambasted and slated. Bruno Fernandes, he's there with the captain's armband. He spends more time chasing after the referees than he does chasing people back, chasing the likes of Van der Ven, who just marauds 60, 70 yards of the pitch, straight through the Manchester United midfield, rips them up within 2 minutes and you're 1-0 down. Højlund is his signing, Xerxes is his signing, Garnacho is in the youth team. Again, it's Garnacho getting better. He came in to a struggling Man United forward line last season. Is he getting any better under Ten Hag and his coaches? I don't think so. Rashford, well, he's already fallen out with him. Rashford's already got out on the piss to fucking Belfast on his birthday. And Ten Hag's come on back, come on into the team. Like, you know what's going on there. Thought he was back. Everyone's like, Rashford's back, he scored a few goals. Drops in them, so who knows what's going on? Nobody knows, but that team is fundamentally in trouble under that leadership, in my opinion. And Man United fans, get your comments in. Like, surely nobody can defend that performance. He should have been sacked after it finished 7-0 to Liverpool and somehow stayed in a job. There's been offences after that in terms of bad results and bad man management, and he is still in a job. Yesterday, is anyone surprised? Is anyone surprised? We can go, oh, 10 men, 10 men. Yeah, but 11 men on the pitch didn't lay a glove on them up until it happened, so it does not matter. I think Manchester United are in big trouble. Porto away next, and then Aston Villa away next. You cannot tell me Manchester United will be favourites for those 2 games. Let that sink in. Manchester United playing Porto and Aston Villa. They should be favourites every single time. There's no way you would be betting on them right now. The bookies are going to make Porto favourites and Villa favourites. And if they don't, then, we'll have to log on. But listen, that should not happen. Also, think about this. Arne Slot has been Liverpool manager, 3 months? I can see what he's trying to do. Postecoglou, bit of criticism, but you can see what he's trying to do. You can see it. Maresca, he's in the Championship last season. You can see what he is trying to do with Chelsea. Right, what about Ten Hag? 3 years in now, what's he trying to do? Because I don't see it. I literally don't see it. If you can see it, please let me know, because nothing is really happening. It's a shame. Manchester United, such a great club. All the greats that have been produced there and played there, the great moments, the achievements, it's all being undone, and it's another manager. Like, at least Oli cared, at least Mourinho cared, at least Ranić cared. I don't think Ten Hag cares, does he? You can't honestly say that an Erik Ten Hag team goes out on the pitch and gives its absolute all and reflects the manager. Because I don't see it. I see all the time tools being downed and bad results happening. And I think it's just going to continue, to be honest with you. Like, let me know if I'm wrong, please. But we all seen that game yesterday. That was not a good game for Manchester United. The stats were damning. And we can talk about XG and you can talk about all this stuff. The fact of the matter is, Manchester United right now do not play attacking football, get teams on the back foot that end up going, shit, we're playing Man United, we need to play 5 at the back, we need to put an extra body in midfield, like they do, even when they're playing Chelsea's now, for example, but like they do when they play a Man City and they play an Arsenal. People don't see Manchester United in the same light as that. They really, really don't. They see a team that they can get at and they can beat. And right now, Manchester United are 3 points ahead of Ipswich. Okay, look, we're 6-7 games in. That does not matter. That is not acceptable. Okay, and, I'm very worried about the next 2 games. Get Van Nistelrooy in, I say, because Erik Ten Hag, he's had his time. He's had 3 years. And yesterday's result is another example of a bad result that shouldn't be allowed to happen, especially at Old Trafford, but it shouldn't be allowed to happen, but it's happened on his watch. And that isn't the first time it's happened either. So how can those players get inspired when they've seen this manager lead them into battle and they get turned over and there's no repercussions? Nobody calls it out. They're calling it out now, but why didn't they call it out against Coventry? Why wasn't it called out against Newport? 7-0 to Liverpool. Why was that not called out? Don't forget, this is also the manager who's 3-2 up at Stamford Bridge with 2 or 3 minutes left and lost the game 4-3. Blame the players all you want. The manager has to take the blame, in my opinion. 2 massive games coming up for Manchester United as well. So watch this space. I think some things will change because they need to change. He's fallen out of everybody. Who's going to be next on his hit list? I'm sure there will be someone. But Erik Ten Hag, I believe your time is up. Get your comments in. Who should be the next manager? Should be Van Nistelrooy. The players seem to respect him. He is a bit of a club legend. And people say, well, it'll get a new manager bounce and then it'll be the same as Ole. At least it'll get a bounce because it needs something, because there's no fight and there's no energy out there at the moment on that Old Trafford pitch. So, look, thanks for tuning into the video. It was a terrible day for Manchester United, a great day for Tottenham, but there's 2 big games coming up on the horizon. And something to ponder as we close this video off. Has Bruno Fernandes played his last league game for Erik Ten Hag? Just think about that. He's going to miss 3 league games now because of that straight red, because of that petulant behaviour. It's a terrible tackle. He slipped. Yeah, he slipped. Then slip. Don't fling your studs up and go in knee high at someone who's in behind you. You cannot do that, especially with the captain's armband on. So that's a 3-match ban. Is Erik Ten Hag going to last another 3 games, or has he played his last league game under Erik Ten Hag as Manchester United manager? who knows? Get your comments in. Thanks for joining us here at Social Soccer, an ever-growing community. Take care, and of course, we'll see you on the next one. Thanks for tuning in. Bye now.